When they ask you about my life, I want you to tell them I made something out of nothing. I was born between a Bible and a rifle, blue-collar Americana, strict as hospital corners, heavy as King James scripture, turned words into wings and took flight to find others like me. I rode the train coast to coast solely for the sake of poetry. Drank sake from cough syrup cups, snorted cocaine off of pen caps, slept in turquoise jewels, and wore ushankas in the summertime. I held swings hostage and chain smoked in bunk beds. I wrote poems to never would-be lovers. Threw marriages out with the pizza boxes. I recycled old flames. I broke my only loaf of bread with geniuses. Broke bones during mischief, went broke on payday. Every moment was a gamble, and I was spectacular in my glory. I made ends meet at pawn shops, gave birth to great ideas on sticky tabletops, aborted well-paying jobs for the coal mines of creation. I slept on stolen time, backpack, knapsack, my treasure chest pillow, creaking back, crackling echo across the rise of dawn, smoking slow while tears rolled down my cheeks, weeping at the new day choir of color exposing me as I age to loss. I miss every soul who ever lost their youth to the idea that maybe tomorrow will be just the same as today, and today was a hard day. I never got any rest. I shared bar stools with missionaries, raised a toast to mortality, was taught to dance by men in 6-inch heels. I dove into midnight, resurfaced days later, adopted too many strays, shrieked unforgivable blasphemies at pedestrians. I nearly lost my life at a corporate detour, but they could never take my soul. I was royalty, who made my castles in shotgun studio apartments and dive bars, broke the spine of every fresh book to strike fear into the fair weather poets. Do not linger here unless you desire to make a home among hot coals. I twisted my tongue into adjectives, lathering every syllable with syntax. I apologized for vulnerability, for being born, being gone, being distant, being out, but I never apologized for the art. I bound my breasts on Monday morning, freed my femininity on Friday night, scraped together scraps to make presents on holidays. I rode bicycles and filed bankruptcy, ate chocolate in bed, fell in love in karaoke bars, made love in front of other people, grew homesick for cities I never visited but always dreamed of, dove palms first into both coasts' oceans in a week's time. Twice, I looked up from a microphone to see 3,000 eyes, feared today as much as tomorrow, fought epic, merciless battles with partners whose names were tattooed down my arms. I immortalized their effect in ink, permanent. My hesitation was as negotiable as my hair color, but I could not afford to risk forgetting that at least once in my lifetime I had known profound, unconditional love. I took everything for granted. I doctored rejection letters with community gatherings, failure with forever trying again, addressed uncertainty with astrology. I sacrificed lunch hours for stanzas, exhausted my introvert with extrovert activities in hopes of finding relevance through publication. I blew my gas money on magic rocks and fine point pens, shared toothbrushes, suicidal thoughts, funeral pews, Christmas Eve, celebrated half birthdays, loathed matrimony, rituals, and obligation unless it came as a command in my dreams, and then, in gratitude to the muse, I obeyed unconditionally. When they ask you about my life, I want you to tell them that I answered to an intuition that felt like a memory, a sense of urgency to make everything beautiful with the way of my words. I never intended to do any good. It was all a byproduct of chasing the whisper of a calling. Falling in infatuation with telling the truth gave others permission to tell theirs too. I wore all the colors and lived in all the worlds, and there were none I liked better than the ones where I was loved. Love was the best part about my life. There was nothing better, and really, nothing else worth mentioning. When they ask you about my life, I want you to tell them it was worth every minute.